just got a mysterious text for a clandestine meeting. One of our local landlords just sent me a text with an address, an apartment number, and a "can you meet me?" question mark. So don't really have any information about what's going on at the address in question, but being that it's 90 degrees outside, I'll assume it's something to do with heating and air conditioning. But we'll find out shortly and see if we can get it taken care of for them. We are running upstairs, so let's see what's going on here. That's interesting. We have a loose wire here, but it looks like at one point it went to a timer board, and I guess it was bad, so they just disconnected it. Our 24 volts just goes directly to our contactor coils. I know we have 24 volts inside because the blower is operating when we turn the system on. So we've got nothing here. Okay, we'll fix that, but let's climb up in the attic and see what we find. We're losing low voltage somewhere. Phew. That could be a problem. In reality, there are a lot of problems. First thing I really notice is the plenum here on the supply side is uninsulated. The ducting is uninsulated. And if you look back on the lower right, the return plenums are also uninsulated. So this speaks to me that originally this house only had a heating appliance, and it was kind of probably grandfathered in due to a while back ago, quote unquote. The code did not require insulated ducting for heating only appliances because it's not really going to condense moisture. However, whomever installed this air conditioner did not really do their due diligence. Metal ducting needed to be insulated. So it's going to cause lots of condensation issues because, you know, we have very cold air blasting into this metal in an attic space that's going to be very hot and humid, so it's going to cause issues. So I mentioned this to the landlord. They did not want to do anything about it right now, but it is something in a perfect world they would take care of relatively quickly. However, my main scary issue is, if you notice about mid-frame on the right there, the flue is not really got a lot of rise over run. You do have to have, I believe it's a 1/4 inch every foot of rise over the length of the run. So it's got to go up a 1/4 inch every 12 inches. That way we can make sure we have enough airflow and the combustible products are not going to condense in the pipe, and we're getting all, you know, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide out of the house. So that is a very big safety issue, which I did basically put my foot down and tell them, look, you have to do something about that. They did take care of it. We had Jacob and our new apprentice, Jeremy, his brother, go over and take care of that issue for us. The other thing you notice, the insulation in the attic there, BPI standards wise, Building Performance Institute, essentially that is super worst case scenario. Basically we have zero insulation. There are several issues with the structure. I didn't really bring it up much in the video because I wanted to have a conversation with the landlord about it and let her know what she needs to do in this particular place without, you know, just blasting it out all over the place while I was there trying to repair things. But we'll get back to it. I would say so we do see an issue with the drain already. We'll have to get some stuff to fix that. Interesting. Look on this and I'll shut it down. I already see an issue where our Y comes in from our thermostat connecting to this board, and our Y wire going outside. The insulation is actually up under that little clip. I'm assuming this furnace must be fairly new then. There we go. Put it over here where I can see it. So we'll just check between common and that Y. Do have 24 volts there. Touch the wire itself. Do have 24 volts to the outside now. Alright, I don't know if you see what I see, but this interesting brown stuff running down this drain line, that's a sign of rodents where they crawl along. They just urinate and defecate, and there's rodent droppings. So, being that it's coming right out of the penetration that they've got the line set and drain running to, and just looking at this wire, I see a few spots where it's been chewed already. Do not hear the outdoor unit running, so more than likely we have a damaged wire somewhere over there. This goes right out. I don't see any damage. Actually, I do see some damage. We have a big penetration, but it does, you can see where something's been chewing on it there too. So we'll pull out a little slack and see about attaching our wire here and just see if we can pull it up that way and make it much easier. So we'll just take a couple of strands of this guy. And just two I'm not planning on using. Let's take our two ends, kind of make a little loop around them, just to give it something to pull on more so than just the tape. Twist it real good. All I'm doing is just linking those wires so that there's a good amount of tension I can put on it without popping them apart. I'll just put a little tape on it to keep any of our edges from catching as we pull it up through the attic. If we get lucky, we should just be able to gently pull this guy up. So we got it right here. While we're here though, we're going to do something about this drain line, because as you see, it kind of goes uphill and then back downhill. I don't know how well that poo glues. So this particular one, we only have one Y going to the outside. So our thermostat comes in, attaches to the board, attaches to the Y going outside. We only have one common, and the common only goes to the outdoor unit for that relay because everything else is pretty much self-contained in the furnace. We'll just use blue and yellow. Firstly, we'll get rid of that little problem. Technically, it doesn't matter since these are both just going to this contactor on either side. Common and 24 volt hot can be interchangeable, but we'll just hook blue to black. Yellow to red. So that's our contactor energizing and kicking in. At this point, we should be able to turn this guy back on. There we go. Nothing more fun than crawling up into an attic on a 90-degree day at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. But I kind of was a little worried about it when we climbed up through the attic. I didn't notice the, shall we say, pelletized evidence of rodent activity as we were climbing up there. But we were kind of hoping for the best. I did think we got lucky when I saw the insulation for the low voltage pulled down into that terminal block. You know, as it would imply, insulation doesn't really pass voltage very well. So I was hoping it was something to do with that. Unfortunately, didn't get that lucky. As we rectified that issue, we never heard the outdoor unit come on. Kind of climbing down the line, I started seeing more evidence of rodent activity, including, as you saw, that kind of brown smear running across the drain line. What that actually is, rodents, especially rats, kind of just defecate and urinate wherever as they go, and they don't really have very good senses as far as sight, I believe, and they follow their own smell because they know, hey, this was my safe spot to go, I'm going to follow my trail. So they'll just keep going back and forth on that same trail forever, basically. And it does leave that gross kind of sludge slick going through there, and that was a pretty good clue that that was a rodent superhighway right there. Unfortunately, it went right out the wall, and you could tell where the damage was. The penetration for the line set and everything had all been chewed and pulled out. So definitely had at least one, if not many, creatures climbing in and out down there. The other side of it is most rodents, rats in particular, they're incisors, they never stop growing. So they chew constantly in order to wear them down so they don't have incisors way too long to open their mouths anymore. So they do chew constantly, and unfortunately, as they climb over wiring and that kind of thing, it's a target, so it gets chewed on. And that's unfortunately what happened in this situation, as well as where they were crawling up and down the drain line. It actually knocked everything out of kilter, and we did have to repair that. I'm not really sure what the installers were thinking on that one in particular anyway, because the drain line already went down and then back up and then down and then back up again. It was multi-trapped, but got the drain line rectified, got a new wire pulled. We did speak to the landlord about the rodent problem, see if they could get some wildlife mitigation people over there, because I did notice a lot of high voltage wiring that was also chewed up in the attic. So not only were we trying to step around to not fall through the ceiling, I was trying not to put my knee on bare copper wire. So a little more interesting than we expected, but not a bad service call after all, and got them going.